Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, based on the time you're watching this video, and a very warm welcome to the late evening chat show. As you all know, last month we had Sagar Vishwas, who is one of the India's most popular NLP master trainer, and he talked about NLP. And I am so glad to have for this month Nikita Singh. Nikita Singh is based out of Bombay, and she's done phenomenal work in the space of mindfulness, happiness, and how that can be a source of performance in our personal and professional lives. And like you all know the format, I'm going to ask a couple of questions on this topic, and Nikita will not only respond today on this chat show, but she will be available to us on our YouTube channel, so you can ask any question to her, and she can respond to this area of mindfulness. Nikita, a very warm welcome to you.
Hi, Yogesh. Thank you for having me on this chat show, and hello to everybody who's watching. I think this is such a wonderful concept, the late night chat show. So
Yeah,
I'm excited to do this.
yeah. I think I keep telling my viewers that you can watch these shows with your family, and because a
Absolutely.
lot of them people watch news channel all the day. So I tell them that once in a week watch, maybe I don't know if the news can give you that happiness, but this possibly can give you some ideas on happiness or mindfulness.
Absolutely. It's such a positive way to end the day, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Good, good. So Nikita, let's begin with, I think, the foundation of, what is
Sure.
mindfulness, because I know if you Google on this, there are so many definitions that comes up. And
Yes.
so, since you have spent enough time on this area,
Hmm.
if you can just give us some view on, what do you think about mindfulness? What is the definition?
So you're right. When you Google mindfulness, a lot of things come up. Few of those are awareness, being present, being non-judgmental. So I was just thinking about what does this mean to us in our everyday lives, right? And the analogy that always comes to me is that of the yin and yang. So you know how the yin and yang is the concept where two opposing forces come together and yet they are so complementary. And
Mm,
why that analogy comes to my mind is because in our lives there's so much of activity. uh, these are times that are totally there's so much uncertainty in these times, so we have to adapt to these times, and
mm,
yet it's about being aware, it's about being present. So how in the midst of peak activity can we remain calm, can we remain centered and make the right decisions? So these kind of almost opposing behaviors, but they come together and they're complementary and they can actually help us to succeed in our everyday life. So I would just say that that's a very simple and practical way to look at mindfulness.
Okay, so when you say this, is there certain type of profession or certain age that mindfulness would be helpful, or do you think that I think mindfulness is something that everybody can actually learn and practice and take advantage of that?
Absolutely. So, mindfulness can be looked at as a practice and also as a state, right? So, it's a state of being when you're feeling mindful, when you're feeling centered in the midst of activity, even, right? So, interestingly, you mentioned age. So, immediately what came to my mind is babies. You know how
Mm,
babies are always so joyful, they're always also centered and in the present moment. So, at one
mm,
moment, you see the baby crying, and just at the next moment, the baby's out of it and he or she is laughing, right? So that's
mm,
such a, so it's almost like we are born being mindful in so many ways,
mm,
and we are born being in touch with the very core of us, that is joy and that is happiness, and that's why
mm,
maybe babies smile 400 times a day. And then
mm,
as we grow up, there's pressure, there's stress, there's the environmental influence, right?
mm,
But there are so many ways in which we can re-inculcate that childlike mindfulness in us, whilst of course going through our daily lives. There are
mm,
many ways to be able to do that, and I would say there's absolutely no criteria. And I'm sure you'd agree, every single profession,
mm,
uh, whether your profession, what I
mm,
do, different
mm,
industries, even
yeah.
students, we all
Mm,
need that kind of mindfulness in our lives.
So when I'm listening to you, I was thinking that if the parents really learn this, they can actually at least especially I mean today's parents who both are working, so you see even the husband working and wife working. So I think if they were to learn this, I think the child that they are going to raise, I think that child possibly can retain that mindfulness, and they don't need to come to you, or or maybe I mean, let them come to
Sure.
you because you're a consultant. But I think in general, we do not to lose that. It would have been so awesome.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you because, life does get challenging, and sometimes we forget how important it is to be mindful. And, instead of, let's say, responding to situations or people, we sometimes end up reacting. And I have been there many times. I'm sure you've experienced that, and a lot
Mm,
of people watching this have experienced that. So
mm,
sometimes, and then we sort of tend to regret those, reactions that we have in our unmindful moments. But if
mm,
we can sort of train our mind to effortlessly, respond instead of reacting, I would say
mm.
the world itself could be a much better place, right?
Yeah, yeah. So like, is this a like a intentional practice that one has to start practicing every day? Like, do you have a routine yourself? Like, how do you
Yeah.
start your day, or is there certain
So
mechanism? I can see your, the back end looks very nice. Lots of frame around, lots of books around your background. So does some of the setup also helps us to become mindful? And is there something that you want to share with us?
yeah. So there are like, let's say, 2-3 layers to your question, right? So one
Mm,
is my personal routine, which I'll definitely talk about, and then you're
mm,
talking about, so how do you practice? How can any individual pick up mindfulness and begin practicing, right?
mm, mm,
So I'll talk about the second piece first. So in terms of
mm,
practicing, again there are two levels to it. One is in the moment. So
mm,
let's say in my interaction with you, or in my
mm,
interaction with anyone, can I adapt? Can I be aware? Can I be fully
mm,
present? Am I tuning into myself at that point? Am I, let's
mm,
say, expressing behaviors related to gratitude, being able to
mm,
appreciate, provide
mm.
help to others? All of this is, mindfulness, right? And I understand that mindfulness is a very broad term here. But in
Mhm,
order to be able to live this, what can we do, right? So
mm,
it's easy to say, hey, be in the present moment. But how? How do we train
mm,
our minds to be in the present moment, right? So a lot of practices help. My personal go-to practice is definitely our breathing and meditation.
mm,
So yoga,
mhm,
pranayama, and meditation. Now there's so much scientific research also about this, that
mm,
generally when our mind is impacted by a positive or, let's say, unpleasant trigger, it impacts our breath.
mm,
So when we're feeling upset, suddenly we're breathing, faster, or it's more
mm,
shallow. But when we're feeling really calm, our breathing is
mm,
slower and it's deeper. So similarly, conscious control of our breath can impact our mind in positive ways, right? So
okay,
I begin my day with this. So I mean, of course there's exercise, but
mm,
definitely also pranayama and meditation. And I've, like, it's almost like as important as brushing my teeth, or having a
mhm,
bath and so on. And I would say that really helps me to feel or to practice mindfulness from a, let's say, on an hour to hour basis, right?
mm,
So that's one. But there are so many other ways. There's journaling. There's also, I think, exercise
mm,
helps people a lot. There's walking. Of course, now we have to be careful about moving out of the
mhm,
house, but just a walk or listening to some music. There are many different
mm,
ways. And also in terms of, like I said, how do you start your day, how do you
mm,
end your day, in terms of the food we eat really
mm,
impacts how mindful we are, the way we are sleeping. So there are so many different aspects to it. So I
mm,
would really say that lifestyle, conscious choice of the kind of life we want to live, really
okay.
impacts how mindful we can be.
Mm-hmm. And so, like, is this something that people can adopt over like a period of like 6 months or 12 months, or do you think it will take even more longer, or is it shorter? How much time do you think, somebody, as I'm listening to you, I'm very excited to, meaning share with so many of my participants, and I do myself, bring in the importance of exercise for sure in every session that I do.
Yeah,
But I think some of the other thing that you spoke about, ending the day, music, journaling. So, how much time do you
yeah.
think people would take to kind of imbibe this in their day-to-day life?
you know that's such a great question. I think one is about time and the other is about the decision that I'm going to do it. And what I find with myself personally and a lot of other people that I've interacted with is that the moment this becomes a priority, that yes, I want to be more mindful in my work, in my interactions, and I want to create a happier environment around me, right then is when our choices start changing. So for me personally, what took time was not what's the practice I want to do. It was a shift in my mindset. And I guess my hope is that that shift in mindset comes proactively and not as a cure, because often what ends up happening is that we get so caught up in our daily lives that then we need an event or something like a trigger which may not be as pleasant to remind us that hey, I need to inculcate mindfulness into my life. So I would say this one is the mindset shift, which can make it much quicker. And the second would be that although I mentioned a lot of things in terms of journaling, ending the day well, sleeping right, eating right, and it's true that when all of these come together, it creates an amazing impact. However, maybe going one at a time is also, very good. So let's say the decision for this month is that I'm going to work on sleeping before midnight and ensure that I'm not looking at my device at least 30 minutes before I go to bed. So setting very realistic goals, because mindfulness goals can be so many, but what are the ones that I can practice, like they say in all leadership workshops, right? The SMART goals. So being able to set those realistic goals, I think, can be very, very helpful.
Got it. Very nice. I think, and some of the suggestions that you gave are like very easy in our hand, meaning I don't really have to invest any money or I don't have to go to anybody else. I think some of the suggestions are very nice, like sleeping before midnight,
Yes.
not looking at your mobile. Maybe I have seen some of the countries now following the sun with digital. So they say
Yes.
that yeah, when the sun sets, they will switch off the digital, and when the sun rises, they do that.
I think in our country that's a little bit challenging to practice,
Yeah,
but we should do our best for sure. Yeah,
we should
yeah,
do our best. Yeah. So you're saying that there is a combination of our physiology and our mind together, meaning it is like
absolutely.
okay.
Yeah, yeah. And I guess often what happens is that we try to manage the mind at the level of the mind, right? And then we get very frustrated. So, for example, if I tell you that, Yogesh, close your eyes and think of anything but pizza. And now, think of anything except pizza with lots and lots of cheese. Now it's difficult for you to imagine anything but a pizza because so it's like we're trying to manage our mind. We're telling our mind, today I'm going to sleep early, or today I'm not going to get angry with this one team member who's, never meeting deadlines, for example. But we end up doing the same thing and repeating that pattern. So how do you come out of it? Maybe this physiology that you spoke about. So why is it that when people exercise they feel so good? Because somewhere the hormonal composition is changing, somewhere the breathing rate, heart rate is changing. It's the same with like breathing techniques and pranayam. Somewhere when our breath is slowing down, our mind is slowing down, the stress levels are reducing. So I guess the easier way to manage the mind is by knowing some of these techniques instead of like fighting the mind constantly.
Got it. So if I start exercising, maybe that team member who looks very horrible may not look as horrible because my chemicals
Yeah.
will.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, the chemicals will, kind of change the way I look at things around myself.
Yeah. And we've all had those days, right? Like, let's say you were at a vacation and feeling really calm, amazing, having the best time of your life. Then if you had to have a work call or, there was some trigger, it may not have impacted you so much actually. But when you're in the middle of an already, pretty crazy kind of a day, and then the same trigger sort of comes through, then you're like, oh my God, and we tend to lose it in those situations. So that's where really, breath work, yoga, exercise, or even awareness itself can help a lot, I would say.
Yeah, so I think it's like people have to just embark on this journey and gradually they will start building their whole pattern or the routine, and then once they start seeing the benefit, they will want to do more and more.
Absolutely. And I guess, like, in a way, it is a journey, as you said very well.
Mm,
And at the same time, we have to be careful not to be hard on ourselves, right, when we are
mm,
embarking on this journey, because we all
mm,
have, you do a lot of work in personality psychology. So
mm,
you would realize that we all have our intrinsic personality behaviors that are
mm,
deeply ingrained in us. So,
mm,
there will be certain strengths, certain areas of development. And when we embark on a mindfulness journey, a lot of it is about, like, either unlearning or undoing, which
mm,
can sometimes, there will be days when we do very well, and then there will be those occasional days when,
mm,
let's say, we are unmindful about certain things. And I guess
mm.
that's fine as long as we're aware.
Mm, perfect, perfect. And when I look at while your what you're explaining is very helpful in regular life also, but when I look at today's time when COVID is creating so much of problem all across the world.
Hmm.
So in this times, is there specific that you want to share with the viewers? Because I don't think that this Corona COVID is going to go away very soon. Yeah, I think it's acknowledged that it's going to live with us for some more time.
Yes.
So what is your suggestion, especially during this time? Since we are doing this chat show during this period.
You know, I would say this is actually a great time to go inward in a way.
Mm,
So, one is that, that whole saying of health is happiness. It's
mm,
become such a reality for us now. It's always been a
mm,
reality, but now we've realized that, health is wealth and health is happiness.
mm,
So I guess that in itself is one realization we should keep with us. The
mm,
second is, it's a great time to go inward and start thinking about what are some changes that I want to make uh, in my within me as an individual. How can
mm,
I, improve? What are some
mm,
strengths that I have which I can nurture? And the
mm,
third is, the mindfulness practice that we spoke about, the
mm,
different practices, to begin to make those a part of our everyday lives.
mm,
So, just to give you an example, a morning routine, it's written about a lot, it's all over social media, and yet it's something that, when it comes to execution, a
mm,
lot of us can tend to be indisciplined about it, right?
mm,
So how can I put in practice a morning routine that is going to help me? It's like, well begun is half done. So going to
mm,
help me begin my day well in a mindful manner, so that I can have a good day ahead, right? So
mm,
that's one. The second is, during these times, taking care of our food. So, healthy vegetarian food, which can really help us to keep up what they call in Sanskrit prana, or our energy
mm,
levels, very, very high.
mm,
Because the moment we're eating, let's say, too much fried food or too much
mm,
junk food, it does impact the physiology, which then
mm,
makes our body and mind either very restless, or there's some inertia that sets in, and that
mm,
impacts our health, our mindfulness, and our productivity, right?
mm,
And I would definitely recommend everybody watching this to start meditating. Honestly, it is a few minutes of doing nothing. It's closing your
mm,
eyes and doing nothing, but it is something that has changed my life completely. It's very helpful. There's a lot of research around it, and very easy to do. I think there are a
mm,
lot of myths around meditation. For example, I can't have thoughts when I meditate, or
mm,
it's okay if, like, my eyes suddenly open. So there are these little
mm,
myths, which, we can talk about too. People can ask questions about those, but
mm,
once we know that those myths are just myths and that's not
mm.
reality, I think we can really get into that practice of meditation.
Yeah, as I was listening, I don't know, in future you may become Ma Nikita or some spiritual. Because I think, yeah, although I know you have a very long consulting background, and we know each other from the time you were in Conferry, and
Yes, yeah.
so I mean, I feel whatever you're talking has such a little bit of spiritual orientation or angle to it, and which I feel sometimes people must misunderstand that they mix it with religion, or
Mm,
they mix it with something that will make you weaker.
yes.
I mean, there are so many connotations, but what you're talking about is so making sense, from our title of this chat show today, that how can, mindfulness be a source of performance? So, when you talked about all these things, imagine if I were to not get upset with that one team member, and spend more time on like grooming that team member, or maybe understanding, where is he coming from? Why is he not able to perform? What can I do to, help him perform, rather than maybe
Absolutely.
eliminating him. Yeah. So I think
Yeah.
makes
You're
sense.
right. In fact, because you brought in the performance angle, even in leadership development work, and you do a lot of leadership development work, you may have observed, and there's so much research around this, that stress derails, leadership potential, right? Or a
Mm,
leader's, it comes in the way. So, just a very simple example of that one is what you gave of the team member and, getting a little bit angry. And the second is
mm,
that, maybe I'm a very sincere person and I'm leading a team. I get my tasks done diligently. I'm always on time. The moment stress hits me, I
mm,
begin to become overly meticulous and I may end up
mm,
micromanaging actually. So,
mm,
which is then very counterproductive, right? I want to get
mm,
things done, but because I'm stressed, I start micromanaging to my team. As a result of
mm,
which, my team is feeling a little bit, handicapped and less empowered, and that is then impacting directly their performance.
mm,
And there's so many research studies about also the financial impact or the business cost of stress on organizations and the economy too.
So it's like a cycle that I think sometimes people are caught in, so
Yes.
what is happening is this manager is an example, he goes and fires this guy every day morning, and then the fire guy doesn't work properly, and then the load of his not working comes on to the manager, and then his manager shouts at him, and then when he goes back home, I think
Yes.
it's like a
It's a
continuous
ripple,
thing.
like a ripple effect almost, right? Yeah.
And in general, I think we end up maybe blaming somebody else for our non-performance, or I mean, just
And then when we try to treat this, so if I had to bring in the analogy of like treating a, let's say a cold or a
mm,
fever, we
mm,
end up treating the symptoms and not
mm,
the root cause, right? The root cause is a lot of underlying stress, or let's say
mm,
lack of energy, or a feeling of being overwhelmed. And
mm,
what we end up treating then is, okay, how can this person have better conversations? Or, of course,
mm,
I'm not undermining the importance of that. It's very important to have that skill too, but
mm,
along with the skill, that that sense of being composed yet
mm,
energetic and
mm,
positive is so important, right?
Okay, very nice, brilliant. And I mean, when I see this so much of domestic violence happening, and I can like really see what you're saying. People are just trapped into this whole cycle, and if they can come out, I think families can get so united. There
Yes.
can be so much of productivity which is getting lost. Because in those relationship where there is so much of issue happening at home, I think where will they have time to really think about the future or do
So
something better? And it's a cycle. When the kids watch this violence going at home, I
yeah,
think they feel that violence is the way only to,
very
kind of address that. Yeah.
very
Mm,
and in fact, I don't mean to be philosophically
mm,
or, but the practice of yoga, so most people think of yoga as a set of exercises or asanas. It is
mm,
interesting that the foundation of yoga starts with this non-violence, what they call
mm,
ahimsa. And non-violence not at only the physical, but in terms of
mm.
words, thoughts,
Yes, yes,
speech,
yeah.
right? And it's said that if you can master this non-violence in your life, or bring this non-violence into your
Mm,
life, then I mean, I think leaders would be more effective, our homes would be happier, in general the world would be a much more positive and happier
mm.
place, right?
Very nice. I think all my viewers can, take so much of very simple
Yes.
sharing that you are giving. And I think personally, I think that a lot of viewers may get a very simple clarity, as that, it's not as difficult as generally people sound or make it sound.
Yes.
What you're saying is if people can take small steps, I think they will be able to take the result. And hope, Nikita, it's okay. People contact you on the.
Of course. Yes, yes. Very happy to help.
Yeah, very nice. Awesome. So what I was thinking also, Nikita, is that just so that, we get our viewers also an experience of, something that could be very simple, which they
Sure.
can regularly put on this video and, listen to you and also practice, for some time.
Sure.
Is there some technique that you have which we can
Yes.
explore together?
So, I was thinking we can do a short gratitude meditation.
Okay.
So, why I thought of this gratitude meditation is because, with so much uncertainty around us,
Mm.
sometimes it's natural for the mind to look at what's not working, right? And there is a lot that's working right now, too. I mean, despite the situation and the world around us. So, why not spend some time acknowledging that and feeling grateful about that? So if that's okay with you, we could do
Yeah, I think we can absolutely. I would love to try this out myself, and
that.
I'm sure the viewers also can practice. And I keep telling viewers to bring their family in, because I always feel that I think individually we can't be, because we are a social being and there is a structure around us. So I think we should not just be doing ourselves. I think we should involve
100%.
everybody. So if they are watching with the family, I think it will be awesome to do
Yeah.
this gratitude meditation.
In fact, you made a good point, and before we get into it, I'd love, when the whole family is picking up a practice together,
Hmm.
it's so much easier to follow through. And I've seen that in my own
Yeah,
house. Suddenly you're holding each other accountable. Suddenly you're saying, "Oh, you didn't
yeah,
practice today," so it becomes one of
yeah,
those, and it's very nice. And then you
yeah,
share your experiences, and suddenly the whole conversation,
yeah.
it becomes so positive, and the energy in the house is just different then, which
Yeah,
is
yeah,
really
no,
nice.
no, I know. I mean, I met your father, JP, when we
Yes.
in the last time. So I could, everything that you talk about, I think I can relate to what you're saying, meaning the way JP and you are more like friends rather than
Yes,
daughter and father.
absolutely. Yeah.
And and that's what I like, so when we do this late evening chat show, one of my criteria is that I get the expert who I have seen really practicing in their real life, so if I look at Sagar Vishwas, whom we interviewed last month, I think he's one of those coaches, who, when we do commercial work with our clients, I keep, and I've seen Sagar doing this, that he, there is a fees definitely we charge, but his concern is about not the fees, that his concern is that if the client is not transformed,
Yes.
he personally takes the responsibility of, what didn't I do to make
Yes.
it happen, and that is working because he applies everything that he does in his own life, and
That's
I
so
could see the same thing with you also. So,
I try, but like I said earlier, it's so much about awareness, right? So even if you slip, you kind of come back to,
yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
good. I think we should,
Begin.
like this video can be reminded for all of us actually.
Sure.
Good. Yeah, we can try one technique so that people, when they go back, I think
So,
they can play this video regularly to practice this. Yeah.
sure. So before we start, because it's a short meditation, it's always good to just shake your hands a little bit and move
Okay.
your shoulders up and down,
Okay.
just so that you let go of any restlessness or inertia. And you can
Okay.
take your head breathing in back and breathing out. You can bring it.
Oh, I think when I'm doing this, Nikita, I can feel so much of, stiffness that I
Yes.
could see, meaning it is just, I'm just recognizing it. Otherwise, it was like maybe it was stored and I didn't even pay attention to that.
You use the right word. In fact, our body stores stress and it releases stress. So when we do some of these simple exercises, a lot of the stress is getting released, and again that physiology gets impacted positively, and again the mind. So good.
Nikita, I'm going to play this video myself couple of times.
You are very humble and modest, because I know that you know a lot of this and practice it, in fact, a lot
Yeah,
yourself
yeah, yeah.
too.
But I think for our viewers, I just want to give them enough and more confidence, because human beings are very not easy to change, because they have their own, own set of thinking beliefs. And the reason I want to bring this is that I really want people to take advantage of all this and really change their lives and use this COVID to their advantage, actually.
100%. I agree with you. So,
Yeah.
on that note, I think let's get started.
Perfect. Yeah.
So, sit comfortably and easily. You can keep
Yeah.
your palms on your knees, and they
Okay.
can be open to the sky.
Yeah.
You can gently close your eyes. Head, neck, and spine in a straight line. And relax your whole body. Take a deep breath body is a beautiful gift given to you by nature, by God. Honor and respect your whole body and feel grateful for the body, for it is through this body that you are able to experience the entire world. Your eyes help you to see the world around you. Your ears, through which you can listen to sounds around you. Feel grateful for the entire body. Slowly become aware of your breathing. Take a breath in and breathe out. And feel grateful for this breath. It is the breath that is keeping you alive. We may not always be aware that we are breathing, but it is the very act of breathing that allows us to go about everything that we do in our lives. Slowly remember the meals that you ate through this entire day and through this week. And feel grateful for the nourishment that nature has provided you. Feel grateful for the weather. There are days when the sun is shining bright, days when we may experience a little bit of rain. Feel grateful for the weather. And remember now all the friends and family that are very close to your heart, that have helped you when you most needed it, and support you through every phase of your life. Feel grateful for their presence and mentally thank each and every one of them. Now, remember the people who may have hurt you or caused you some pain. It is this very pain that brings depth and sensitivity to our lives. Feel grateful for these people and thank them, for it is because of their presence that you have grown as a an individual. Every cell in your body is smiling and relaxing. Your mind is expanding. Your breath is slower and deeper. Very slowly, become aware of your surroundings. Become aware of your body. Take a deep breath in and breathe out. And whenever you feel like, you may gently open your eyes.
Oh, wow. Superb. I think, how much? I think we would have done maybe 10 minutes or even less.
Almost 10 minutes.
Almost, yeah.
Little
But
bit.
I think in such a short period, I think you feel almost as if you're fresh in the morning
Yes,
side, you know?
exactly. And it's quite simple as well, right?
Yeah. So I think it is. I mean, you really demonstrated in this show itself that how it's not like a big deal that somebody has to do a very big ritual to get this started.
Absolutely not.
Mm.
Absolutely.
So I
In
think some of
fact,
the, yeah. So what you said is like evening should be possible like this ending, and then maybe with the family, and then
yes,
morning you bring in a routine of little bit of yoga,
yes,
mindful breakfast, and then
yes.
putting that routine in place. Okay.
Yes, and also being okay that there may be certain days when it won't be as perfect as
Mm.
we would imagine it to be, because
Yeah,
sometimes that seeking perfection in mindfulness can
yeah,
also
yeah,
come in the way. And
yeah.
of course there are many other things like journaling or going for
Mm.
a walk and
Okay.
food we eat, which can help
Mm.
us a lot.
Awesome, awesome. In fact, I remember when we met in Chembur, I think the choice of your restaurant also kind of showed this.
Well,
Yeah.
partly that, and partly there are limited options here.
Yeah. But I could see because saw a couple of other restaurants, but that was a place where we met. I think was very quiet,
Yes,
very serene. The
yes,
furniture was very
yes.
natural. So
Yeah.
I think it become like part of you when you start practicing all this.
In fact, if I can just share, there's this because mindfulness is such a broad term, right? And even
Mm.
wellness as a term is so broad. So I
Mm.
like to think of it with having three dimensions, and you
Okay.
put it very beautifully just now. So one is, your environment or your
Mm.
ecosystem. Now, part of this ecosystem we may not have control over, which is like
Mm.
at work or at home, but a
Mm.
large part of it we do have control over. So we can create that. The second is
Mm.
our lifestyle, which we spoke
Mm.
about quite a
Mm.
bit. And the
Mm.
third is some of these behaviors,
Mm.
like gratitude, being there to help others, being aware in
Mm.
the moment. So I think this is a good way to look at it because it's quite
Mm.
holistic and it also simplifies it to a large extent.
Very nice, brilliant. So I think it is time for us to give our gratitude to you for giving us this time
No, thank you
and
so much.
and taking time off to really help all of us understand and like really demystify this whole thing of mindfulness. Very beautifully you have done that in such a short period, and so really thank you, Nikita, one more time. And to all our viewers, thank you for watching this show. And as I said in the beginning, that Nikita is available for any questions you may have, and you can put it on the chat or in the comment section, both on Facebook and YouTube. And please connect with Nikita to get some more guidance. And if you want to do something, for your organization, for your family, you can reach out to her. Yeah.
Thank you
So
so much for having me. It was really wonderful.
yeah, I think, meaning, so I sometimes keep thinking that, the viewers tell me that, your videos, your chat show, your monthly webinar are so much of value to us. And I tell to myself that while they are getting the value, actually, I am also in the process, really learning all this, meaning today this 10 minutes, small technique that you taught us, I could physically experience the stress that I was carrying on the neck and all that. So if I'm mindful about all this, I think I can start basically improving myself. I don't need somebody outside to do it.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. You said it perfectly.
Okay.
So
Perfect.
thank you so much and good night in
Okay.
India.
Yeah, yeah.
To
So
other
yeah,
parts of the
so
world. Yeah.
so generally this video is watched at many times. So I generally start
Yes.
my video with good morning, good afternoon, good evening. So you can also say good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
Yes. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, and have a wonderful week and a weekend. And maybe a good time to start the mindful practice is actually just now, right
Perfect,
away.
perfect, awesome. Okay, Nikita, thank you so
Okay.
much. Okay,
Bye. Bye.
bye,
Bye.
bye.